it is a really kind of defiant thing to do, to be doing something like this in these times, you know. And you've done it. It's all about the text for you. It's all about, isn't it? It's all about the poems and what they are, and what
they mean,
what these poets mean to you. They're kind of, you know, and that's what you really inhabit so beautifully.
Oh, I love this record.
I met Marianne in 2003. We were doing demos for a Bad Seeds album that became the Abattoir Blues, Lyre of Orpheus. And Nick said to me, Marianne Faithfull has asked if I could write a couple of songs for a record. She's going to come in and let's run through them and have a play. So we were in this like very modest little recording room that was like a garage kind of thing. We were set up in there, just me, Nick, Marty and Jim, and we were bashing away. Marianne arrived, nobody knew she was coming. Marianne came in and they said, well, we have a milk crate for you to sit on, and she sat down, and it was one of those rare moments where you have the cans on and suddenly she started singing, and you know that you're hearing something that will change your life. We worked on Before the Poison, and I think I've worked on every record with you ever since. And then I remember meeting Marianne after that, invited me for dinner in Paris, in the apartment, and you you answered the door, and your face was all bruised, and I thought you'd been beaten up or something, and I was like, God, Marianne, like, what's happened? And you go, I've had my teeth done. It was when you had all the implants done. Yeah. And I said, you should have cancelled dinner. And you just looked at me and said, I knew you wouldn't give a fuck. And we had a fabulous dinner. And that's kind of like when I felt like I met Marianne.
I can't believe we actually managed to make it. And it's what I've always said, that finally I was with someone, and with not just you, but also Francois and even BMG, you know, who were hip enough to do it, to get it.
Yeah, yeah.
But especially you. You know, I told you about this, but I'll tell everyone else too. I had a great, great English teacher called Mrs. Simpson. And it was my first year sixth form, you know, like when you're 16, 17. And the next year is the one before university. But so it was quite advanced. And we were studying English romantic poetry. So we were studying Shelley, Byron, Wordsworth, and Keats. And then, you know, Lord Tennyson isn't really in that group. He's a bit later, but we roped him in, and I think we were right.
We wrangled him in.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if Thomas Hood is really in that group either, but I had to do that because, you know, the Bridge of Sighs.
Yes, you had to expand the kind of...
Well, I've always thought that's about me. I was in the next room, in my study, with Head. He'd built me a little studio in there with baffles and everything. It was terribly hot. That was hard, because I couldn't have a fan or anything. And talk about not knowing where you're going to put your foot next. I just had to trust myself completely. And I had to make it good enough so that Warren would love it. You know, I'm not kidding when I say this has been almost like a love affair. It hasn't really been a love affair, but it's been very close.
Well, I love you, Marianne.
What?
I love
know
you.
you do, and I love you.
Yes.
I'm getting all emotional.